In history, many twisted and pre-selling cases of murder and mystery have been witnessed by the world. Among these cases there is case of Burari deaths of 2018 which happened in India. This chilling incident unfolded in the heart of Burari, Delhi, where a seemingly ordinary family of 11 met a tragic end that still raises questions to this day. Often labeled as a mass suicide, this enigmatic tale challenges our understanding of human behavior and the mysterious forces that may have been at play behind closed doors. In this comprehensive exploration, we delve into the depths of the Burari incident, dissecting the available information from various angles to unveil the secrets of this 11-member family. On that fateful day, July 1, 2018, the ordinary routines of Burari were disrupted when concerned neighbors ventured to check on the Bhatia family, also known as the Chandivats. The family owned a grocery shop, but that morning, the shop remained closed, a rare occurrence. Milk deliveries went uncollected, and repeated attempts to contact the family went unanswered. What they discovered upon entering the Bhatia residence would send shockwaves through the entire neighborhood. Inside the house, an eerie silence hung in the air. The main door stood ajar, a stark departure from the norm. Ascending to the upper floor, they stumbled upon a horrific scene: 9 family members suspended from an iron grill on the ceiling, forming a gruesome circle. The 10th member, a woman, dangled directly across from them. Meanwhile, their mother lay lifeless in a separate room, near her bed. All the family members wore blindfolds, their hands and feet bound, and they had taken their own lives by hanging. The family's sole surviving member, their loyal dog, was found tied on the roof, barking incessantly. This family, spanning 3 generations, had lived together harmoniously under one roof. Well educated and respected in their community, the Chandivats seemed like any other middle-class family in Burari. The grandmother, Narayani Devi, a widow, had 3 sons and 2 daughters. 2 sons and 1 daughter lived with her in the house. Bhuvnesh, the eldest son, was married to Savita, while Lalit, the youngest, was married to Tina. Bhuvnesh and Savita had 2 daughters and 1 son, Menka, Neetu, and Dhruv, while Lalit and Tina had 1 son, Shivam. Pratibha, Narayani Devi's daughter, was the mother of her only daughter, Priyanka. The Chandivats operated a general store, and Lalit had a plywood business. Neighbors attested to the family's prosperity in both endeavors. They were known as kind, generous, and peaceful individuals who avoided conflicts, both within their family and with their community. The children excelled academically and displayed exemplary behavior, while the other family members readily helped friends and relatives in need. Sajata Nagpal, the surviving sister, and the eldest brother, Dinesh, echoed these sentiments. None of the family's relatives could fathom that such a tight-knit family would contemplate mass suicide, especially given the joyous celebration of Priyanka's engagement just 2 weeks prior to the tragedy. The first responder to the gruesome scene was Rajiv Tomar, head constable of Burari police station from 2017 to 2020 and a former neighbor of the family. He was bewildered by the eerie formation resembling a banyan tree in which the family members were found. When Manoj Kumar, the station house officer SHO of Burari police station from 2016 to 2019, arrived with his team, he, too, was confounded. The lack of circumstantial evidence, absence of signs of burglary, intact ornaments on the women, and the blindfolding of the victims left the police with more questions than answers. The bustling morning foot traffic near the family's grocery store had already begun spreading news of the incident like wildfire, making crowd control and preservation of the crime scene paramount tasks for the Delhi police. The Forensic Science Laboratory in Delhi was called in to investigate this spine-chilling incident. Both the FSL experts and the police investigators sought to unravel the motive behind the tragedy. They meticulously reviewed CCTV footage from a camera positioned on the house's exterior wall, covering the night leading up to the incident. This scrutiny aimed to rule out the possibility of outsider involvement. Initially, the police registered a murder case based on the family's claims, even though they harbored doubts. The police meticulously documented the entire incident and collected evidence. The bodies of the 11 family members were carefully handled and transported to the mortuary. Autopsy reports confirmed that all deaths resulted from hanging, except for Narayani Devi, whose death was attributed to partial suffocation. The presence of undigested food in their intestines suggested a lack of stress or struggle before their deaths. Subsequently, the case was transferred to Dr. Joy N. Tirki, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Crime Branch, Delhi, and his team. As the crime branch delved deeper into the house's details, they uncovered a series of perplexing clues. Bhuvnesh, the eldest son, appeared to have attempted to free his hands, as evidenced by signs of struggle on his fingers. The children were not only bound by their hands but also by their feet, using telephone wires. There were no signs of struggle on their part. Blindfolds covered their eyes and mouths, with cotton stuffed in their ears. Narayani Devi, the eldest family member, was found lifeless in another room, a belt around her neck, leaving marks. Each family member had a scarf around their neck, used in their hangings. Evidence of a ritual conducted the night before the tragedy was discovered, including the remnants of a ritual pyre with ashes nearby. The investigation also unveiled a series of diaries found beside the house's temple. These 11 diaries, with entries dating back to 2007, contained instructions, commands, and conversations. The final pages of the diaries contained detailed instructions that seemed to lead to the horrifying incident. The diaries hinted at the family's involvement in occult practices, raising the possibility that external forces or a mysterious energy had influenced the 11 members. Despite the crime branch's efforts to contact individuals with religious or spiritual backgrounds associated with the family, no leads materialized. The family had been led by Bhopal Singh, Narayani Devi's husband, who had passed away in 2007. His demise left a void in the family, and responsibilities shifted to Lalit, the youngest son. Lalit's maturity and decision-making skills earned him the respect of other family members, who followed his lead. Friends and relatives attested that Bhopal Singh was a kind and open-minded individual, making it unlikely that he issued such commanding instructions. The diary entries commenced shortly after Bhopal Singh's death and primarily revolved around Lalit. As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that Lalit was the mastermind behind the incident. He claimed to communicate with his deceased father in his dreams, receiving guidance on family matters. Lalit shared these conversations with his family, and his voice even changed to mimic his father's during these discussions. The diaries indicated that Bhopal Singh's spirit visited the family on specific days, directing them towards financial prosperity. Lalit's family believed in these messages wholeheartedly, as they were promised salvation by Bhopal Singh after completing the banyan tree ritual. Savita and Tina, the daughters-in-law, epitomized the role of capable housewives, tending to household chores and showing kindness to all. The handwritings on the diary were identified to be of Pratibha's daughter, Priyanka, and Bhuvnesh's daughter, Neetu. Gradually, it became evident that Lalit had been struggling with a lack of control, a condition clinical hypnotherapist Anita Anand referred to as post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). His head injuries from a bike accident in 1988 and a near-fatal attack in 2004 had a profound impact on his mental well-being. Despite his doctor's recommendation for a psychiatric evaluation, the family ignored it. Unaddressed trauma often leads to psychosis, manifested by the inability to think rationally and even hearing voices. A year after his father's death, Lalit regained his voice. Neighbors noticed changes in his behavior leading up to Priyanka's engagement, suggesting that his belief system compelled him to keep the family together at all costs. The crime branch, following ground investigations, conducted a psychological autopsy. This examination of the family members' minds revealed that Lalit suffered from psychosis, and he gradually transmitted this shared psychosis to his family. Consequently, the family members began to blindly follow his lead. The investigation concluded that the Burari deaths were neither a murder nor a suicide, but rather an accidental death resulting from the family's collective belief. In a strange twist, the eldest brother donated the family members' eyes before their cremation. Reporters noted 11 pipes in one of the house's bare walls, mirroring the gender distribution of the deceased family members. The pipes, initially speculated to facilitate the escape of souls, were later confirmed to serve as ventilation and lighting fixtures. The number 11 was a recurring motif throughout the house, from grills to windows, adding to the mystique of the case. Geeta Mata, the plumber's daughter who installed the pipes, was wrongly implicated as a tantric responsible for the deaths. Media sensationalism and a lack of responsible reporting contributed to misconceptions about the Burari incident. The involvement of numerology and tantric elements exaggerated the case before the public. In the end, the Burari tragedy remains an unsettling chapter in criminal history, leaving us to grapple with the complexities of belief, trauma, and the human psyche. The lessons learned from this case serve as a stark reminder of the importance of understanding and addressing mental health issues in our rapidly changing world. Now, if you're like